Hey Crypto Bros, hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are and you're enjoying the current state of the market. Today we're going to be talking about a few things in terms of the Xen ecosystem. Is this an actual good bottom for you to maybe accumulate some on the market? We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to take a look and see the key spot we need to regain in order for the bulls to really gather some momentum and continue on and forward from here. So let's go ahead and actually get into the chart. We can see here on the 6-hourly chart, we do have conditions that could be possibly met. Again, we're going to watch this closely. This is going to be on the 6-hourly. So this 6-hourly candle, as you can see, is going to be closing about in 3 hours almost. And what you want for this particular strategy to actually be met, well, you are looking for the range delta closing above the yellow line with a low BBWP reading. So we already have a very low BBWP reading, which is sitting around 3% at the moment. And we do have the candle, the Heiken Sheik candle, just trading above this particular yellow line. So far the conditions are being met, but you always, when it comes to trading, guys, you always want to wait for confirmation. You want to wait for closures, and then once you see those actual closures, then you can, get the green light to actually take those particular trends. Now you can go ahead and actually jump and front run a lot of these trades, but I always lean on the side of caution, especially when applying strategies and you've known that you backtested these and seen the statistical data and the occurrences in that data and the behavior that you need in order for you to be successful with that particular strategy. So I always wait for closures to confirm that. Once I get that confirmation, then you're most likely going to be presented with these statistical data. So this is the strategy 21, which I'll just pass on to you right here, and we can just quickly zoom into some of the results here. So we can see here that this is more like a neutral type of strategy where you can go long or you can actually go short, but we can take a look at some of the numbers here and kind of determine which aspect is a lot beneficial when taking this particular strategy. So you can see the downside of this is very lucrative, basically bringing you in about 7.81%, where the upside targets is just roughly about 4.66%, and the average mean for this is about 2.55%. And we've seen that in the last couple of years that there has been at least 24 occurrences in this particular data set. We already talked about the conditions, so let's take a look at the targets of where this actually can put us in terms of this actual strategy. So if this is going to play out to the downside, and in particular to this closure, this candle right here, well, we could be looking at targets. So I'm just going to map out the targets so you can actually get a better understanding here of where we could be heading. So 7% from here would actually put us roughly, we're just going to zoom out a bit, guys, roughly 7%, so 7.81% is putting us roughly around the upper side of $26,000, so $26,000 to $27,000 area, which is a lot of support confluence to basically hold this area and maybe gather some momentum and continue on from there. But if the bears were able to, the sellers in this scenario were able to basically drive us to this particular area, that again the bearish momentum is still continuing on. We've been discussing this for the past weeks, saying, look, watch out for this bearish regular divergence, the trend change in the market. It's showing this type of behavior, and you want to basically keep an eye on it. Now, as long on the MACD, as long as we're trading below, again, 29,519, the pressure is still on in regards to the bears. So the bears are putting a lot of pressure into this market. We're currently trading again about $100 and I would say $40 to $150 below that particular range. Now, if we can actually start swinging, maybe start turning these EMAs maybe to the upside, we can actually get some momentum, to shift up above that $30,000 key area that is such a key psychological level for the market overall. Now, one other thing that again has been playing a very key role is again the DXY. We can see the DXY is gaining a bit of a strength momentum. Again, I don't want to go too much into this. Seems like I'm kind of repeating myself because again, Bitcoin can get so boring at times, just moving around a few $100 here and there, and sometimes things don't really change, right? So for me to come on here and just, you know, reiterate the same things, sometimes it can get redundant. But when we do have some conditions being met for strategies, we actually do apply them, guys. We do take a look at them, and you know, we apply these type of strategies, and win or lose, guys, win or lose. The other thing that I want to note in regards to the strategy, so if we were to actually see a 4.66% upside from this price action right here, where would that actually put us? You're looking just roughly around $30,600 area, which again is putting you back into that range, this consolidation range around $30,000 to $31,000 area, which is good. It's kind of putting you just above the mid range, which is good. The bulls can gather some momentum after this, which can help again push price, you know, up substantially from here, and maybe again move us away from this particular area. Now, if that was the case, then this, what you see here, would have actually been a bear trap, basically trapping the bears, and then just kind of going long and putting a lot of traders on the wrong side of the trade is basically what that was. So yeah, this is the conditions that are basically being met for this in terms of the strategy. Let's go ahead and quickly again talk about Xen. So Xen is very close, guys. Again, very close to a bottom. I mean, who's going to be selling at these prices? You really have to think about, you know, long-term perspectives of this particular project, where it's, you know, come from and where it's at right now. So far, we are starting really to see some sort of development come into the Xen ecosystem. Again, we saw Xen Pepe come out. We're starting to see some more projects basically wanting to build on Xen, which is good. Again, long-term, this is going to make Xen more, again, deflationary in the long term of things. But we can see here there has been some changes in the past, you know, 50 to 90 days in perspective of looking at, again, how long people are actually coming in and having this type of mentality or mindset that they're in it for the long term. So we can see that in the beginning, in the first 6 months of Xen, we were seeing that more people were actually having long-term conviction, right? Locking in their mints more than or close to 361 days. But we see now that that actually has shifted to where people are actually, again, those mints are coming close to being due, but we can see the majority of what people are actually doing when it comes to minting is they're preferring that 91 to 180 days. So overall, this, again, we can see that the most mints that are going to be coming out is just roughly around the February to March area. So that is the most sell-off, if anything were to occur, you know, would be around that particular date and time and range. Again, so very close to a bottom. Again, if we start to, you know, close below this, Xen is going to be putting in new all-time lows. Now, based off of the strategy that we've been discussing, in terms of the delta range indicator, again, just quick iteration, hike and a sheet combined with Bollinger Bands. And when you add just other indicators like volatility indicator, just trend indicators with this, it actually can give you a good type of strategy. So what we've seen is that this particular one has had 100% strike rate. So meaning that if you saw these conditions, 100% of the time you would have actually won this trade. So these statistical data is what I'm actually presenting to you. So we can see here, based off of these conditions of low volatility, right, on the 12-hourly, combined again with the delta range indicator closing above the yellow line, this basically gives you a short position to take. And based off of that, we can see the average range is going to take us about 28% to the downside. Where would that basically put Xen? Very close, again, to the all-time lows of where, you know, Xen had that big, again, inflationary stage in the ecosystem. Now, you could say it's still doing the same thing. More Xen is coming out on the market, but I would personally say that at this time and range, we do have some projects that can make Xen more deflationary. So long-term mindset, guys, if you really believe in this project and what's actually happening, I think this is a good steal across all boards, whether you're in Avalanche, whether you're basically in Pulsechain, whether you're, again, in Moonbeam. So wherever you're minting Xen, I think it presents a very good opportunity, and you're already holding, right? If you got into it about 3-4 months into it, you know, start staking those. Get into those staking, get that 17-18%. Some are a lot lower because I see that a lot more people are starting to actually stake their Xen, which brings in the yield a lot lower. So they are taking advantage of that particular percentage. So with that being said here, very close to a bottom. If, you know, if we see this last swing to the downside, I think it's going to be flushing again, whoever doesn't have a long-term mindset in Xen. But again, guys, we're traders first. I provide you with the strategies. We look at the statistical data. I take these trades. I show you my mistakes, where I go wrong, so that you can actually benefit and learn in terms of, you know, long-term investing, short-term investing when it comes to trading, and just increasing your capital overall. Now, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, guys, or Twitter X, or whatever you want to call it now, again, you can go on here, follow me. I do post my trading calls here, so you do want to stay up to date in terms of all my trading calls. I do post them here, guys. If you enjoy content like this, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, bros. Again, as always, stay profitable.